let's talk about coffee. So at some point, you've probably read a headline or seen a video like this.
Never do I do that. Never. That's such a waste of money for something that costs 20 cents. I never buy a frappe latte, blah, 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 woof, 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 for $2.50. That's such a waste of money.
It's a common financial tip to save money, to stop buying coffee and just make it at home instead. And of course, inevitably become a millionaire. It's easy, right? So is that daily coffee habit really going to financially ruin you? Let's get into it. Welcome to the Trendy Toonie. We talk all things money. If it's your first time here, would love it if you hit the like button and subscribe. Alright, so there's two primary schools of thought around this daily latte habit. Those who think it's a gigantic waste of money and those who are in favor and just say YOLO. The first narrative can be seen promoted through the likes of Suze Ormon, Kevin O'Leary, and the king of YouTube finance, Graham Stephan, who's pretty famous for criticizing it in a humorous way as well. There's also been books written about it, like The Latte Factor by Bach. The book and these other financial experts argue that while that $5 coffee doesn't sound like a lot, it's the mentality around it that's the problem. It's $5 here and then $3 there, and then as you make money, that number increases as well. You've probably heard of it. It's called lifestyle inflation. And collectively, all those small purchases tend to just add up. So Suze Ormon says it's like you are peeing $1 million down the drain every time you drink coffee, which, let's be honest, is extreme, and her math is a bit exaggerated. However, let's actually look at it from a number sense. Let's say you get a $5 coffee every day, which over the course of a month is $150, and in a year is $1,800. If you had invested that amount over 30 years at a 7% rate of return, you'd have almost $200,000. The important thing here is that it's the opportunity cost of that money that you spent on that coffee, and you will never have that money to invest and have it grow for you instead. So really, it's about a mindset that you put every dollar to work for you. Now, I'm using coffee as the example in this video, but it could be other things like tea, frappuccinos, lattes, or for me, boba. Millennials actually get a lot of hate around their love of takeaway drinks, but it's not just limited to that. They've come for our avocado toast, and that is just not okay. It is not okay. Now let's look at the case for buying those lattes and coffees. Here we've got financial experts like Ramit, Sethi, and Sallie, Krawcheck say that if you're budgeting, you should be able to spend on what makes you happy. Life is just too short to be miserable, they say. Ramit actually in particular encourages people to ignore the $3 question about your coffee and to focus instead on that $30,000 or $300,000 questions. If you're wasting time debating these menial purchases, you're missing out on the larger picture, the expenses like negotiating your car or your home. Sallie, on the other hand, who's the CEO of Elvest, wrote a really great article making the case for lattes even further. I'll put a link in the bio. My opinion is that it's all about a balance. While quitting your coffee habit, it's not going to make you a millionaire, it also likely won't ruin you financially either. Having an excessive habit, though, when you are in debt will exacerbate your money problems. That almost $200,000 you saw in the example is not chump change. And if you have any consumer debt and don't have an emergency fund, you should seriously take a look at your priorities and reconsider that daily coffee habit and maybe make it a once-in-a-week treat. Remember, personal finance is personal and it's quite relative. So if you buy a $5 Starbucks coffee every day of the week and that $150 doesn't make or break you, and that coffee helps keep you sane, go for it. Just don't let it steal money from your future self. I think being good with saving money is a discipline, and it does snowball positively or negatively into other areas of your life. Personally, I do allow for boba in my budget. I'm guilty, but it actually makes me happy not to sweat the small stuff and to know the bigger stuff is accounted for in my spending plan. So what do you think? Are you pro or anti takeaway drinks? Would love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.